Today we're taking a look at Privaty from Goddess of Victory, NIKKE. This is the Unkind Maid version in the Noodle Stopper figure line by FuRyu. Goddess of Victory. NIKKE is a sci-fi action game centered on battles fought by squads of Nikkes. In that story, Privaty is a member of Triangle, a squad affiliated with the central government. She is known for her strict and prideful personality, and that sharp character image gives her a very clear place in the cast. Today's highlights for this figure are the voluminous mint blue hair, the maid outfit details, and the pose with the hands forming a heart. The first highlight is the voluminous mint blue hair. The twin tails begin with a thick flow from the head, spread outward with real width, and then settle into curled ends, so the hairstyle feels large not just in length, but in mass. That shape frames the figure from the outside and gives the entire silhouette a very clear identity. The second highlight is the maid outfit details. From the frilled headband and cat ears to the collar, bell, apron, layered skirt, and large bow at the back, small decorative parts are distributed across the whole figure instead of staying in only one area. Because of that, the costume keeps adding information as the eye moves from top to bottom. The third highlight is the pose with the hands forming a heart. Both arms come forward, cross in front of the chest, and bring the thumbs and index fingers together at the center, so the hand sign becomes the visual focus of the upper body. That shape also works naturally with the slight head tilt and the soft expression, giving the figure a clear and memorable front view. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The head makes a gentle first impression, but it also carries a slightly reserved atmosphere because of the angle of the face and the way the gaze is set. The head is tilted a little, and the eyes do not look straight ahead in a fully direct way, so the expression feels soft while still keeping a bit of distance. The eyes themselves are long and clean in shape, with a dark upper line that narrows toward the outer ends, and the amber color inside the irises gives the face a warm point of contrast against the cooler hair color. The mouth is kept very small and closed, which prevents the expression from turning into a broad smile and keeps the attention centered on the eyes. A faint blush on the cheeks adds warmth around the middle of the face without changing that quiet expression. The hair around the face is arranged very carefully. The bangs spread widely across the forehead and break into multiple narrow ends instead of dropping as one flat curtain, so the edge line above the eyes stays lively. Shorter side strands fall in front of the face and help tighten the outline from the forehead down toward the jaw. Above them, the frilled headband runs across the top of the head in a white band with a dark edge, making a clear border between the hair surface and the accessory sitting over it. Rising above that are the cat ears, which give the top of the head a sharper silhouette, while the white inner sections soften that shape from inside. Near the outer area of the bangs, there is also a small paw-shaped ornament, and the black ribboned parts near the base of the headband add more small accents around the head. The largest visual element, though, is the mint blue twin tail hair. From the top of the head, the hair gathers backward in visible strands before dividing into two large tails that spread outward around the body. These sections stay thick through the middle instead of thinning too quickly, which is why the hairstyle feels heavy in a good way and carries real volume. Near the ends, each section turns into a curled shape with a tighter wrapped finish, and black ribbon ornaments at the tied areas clearly mark where the long flow comes to a stop. Because the face stays calm while the hair expands so strongly around it, the head area already creates a complete visual balance between softness and presence. The upper body is built around a very clear arrangement of black, white, and skin tone surfaces, and each part is separated cleanly enough that the costume never collapses into one broad mass. At the neck, a narrow white collar circles around as its own distinct part, and directly below it sits a black ribbon with a bell placed at the center. That small grouping immediately draws the eye because it creates a compact cluster of shapes and colors right under the face. From there, the black chest section continues downward through the middle, while the surrounding white frill rises around the top edge and frames the opening. Along that edge, the frill does not stay plain. A transparent white section runs across the upper line, and short dark markings are placed along it, with a tiny bow set into the front area, so the chest line gains several layers instead of ending in a single border. The shoulder line remains open, and the white frilled edges lift from the upper body, while the darker inner section drops beneath them, making the cut of the costume easy to read. Lower down, the white apron-like front section rises across the waist and lower torso and creates a broad, bright area at the center with a small black bow attached near the waist. Because that bow repeats the black details already used at the neck and chest, the upper body keeps a controlled rhythm in how its accents are placed. The backside also adds information through a deep opening framed by white frills, with narrow straps crossing at the center and a dark triangular section placed higher under the collar, so the rear view stays organized rather than empty. The arms are just as important as the costume itself. Long white gloves cover them from below the shoulder to the hands, and small black bows are attached near the upper arm area, which makes the gloves feel like separate costume pieces rather than simple extensions of the sleeves. Both arms are brought forward and bent inward, crossing in front of the chest in a controlled way. The wrists lift slightly and the fingers gather at the center where the thumbs and index fingers meet to form a heart. Because the white glove surfaces stay smooth and continuous from the forearms into the hands, the arms function almost like a frame around the center of the body. That arrangement gives the upper half of the figure a very clear focus and makes the pose feel intentional from every front-facing angle. The lower body is arranged in a layered way that keeps the seated pose visually rich from the waist down. Around the waist, the apron front drops over the skirt and creates the first bright layer, and below that, a darker skirt section appears with a pale line running near the hem. Under that darker section, another white frilled layer emerges again, so the lower half is built as a three-step structure rather than a single skirt shape. This layering is especially effective in a seated figure because the eye can follow each edge separately as the fabric moves outward over the thighs. At the front of the apron, the printed decoration adds a strong point of character. The outlined cat face shape, the paw marks, the Privaty text, and the small bow at the center all sit together in one compact area, turning the apron from a plain surface into a clear identifying feature. The back of the lower body has just as much information. A large white bow is tied at the waist, and its wide loops and long tails spread outward across the back of the skirt, creating a strong center point when the figure is seen from behind. Below and around that, the darker skirt continues outward while the white frills peek from underneath, keeping the layered costume look consistent across the entire figure. Extending behind the body is the cat tail, which begins in a darker tone and shifts into a lighter end, adding another curved line across the rear side. That tail works nicely with the big bow and the curled ends of the hair because all three elements push the back view away from being flat. The legs themselves are simple in layout but very effective in shape. The thighs emerge from beneath the skirt with enough spacing and openness that the seated pose reads clearly, and the white stockings continue downward in long, uninterrupted lines that cleanly narrow toward the ankles. Since the upper half of the lower body has so many layered costume parts, these smooth leg lines help balance the design. At the feet, the black pumps finish the figure with more small details. The white stocking surface over the top of each foot is crossed by thin, dark straps. The ankle is wrapped by a belt with a small gold buckle, and a large black bow sits at the side and back area of each shoe. The heels are slim, and together with the hanging leg position, they give the bottom of the figure a light and tidy finish that matches the more delicate side of the maid design. This figure is approximately 15 centimeters tall, that's about 5.9 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can, that's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Privaty by FuRyu stands out because this figure combines a calm expression, a decorative maid outfit, and a very readable seated pose centered around the heart-shaped hand gesture. The head establishes the character clearly through the cat ear headband and the large mint blue twin tails, which frame the figure from the outside. The face stays gentle, with amber eyes, a small closed mouth, and a slight head tilt that keep the mood soft rather than dramatic. The bangs break into pointed ends across the forehead, while the white frills, black ribbons, paw ornament, and cat ears add small accents around the top of the head. From there, the twin tails spread outward with real thickness and curl into shaped ends, giving the hairstyle strong volume across the full silhouette. The upper body works well because the costume and pose support each other at the same time. The collar and bell at the neck lead into the black chest section and the surrounding white frilled edges, keeping the black and white layout clear and easy to read. The transparent white frill and the small bow at the upper chest add extra detail, while the shoulder opening and the separate long gloves help the outfit feel layered. The white apron-like front section rises across the waist and lower torso and helps organize the center of the figure. The arms then bring the composition together by moving forward and inward, and the heart shape made by the thumbs and index fingers becomes the focal point of the upper half. The lower body continues that strength through layered costume parts and clean leg lines. The apron front sits above the darker skirt layer and the lower white frill reappears beneath it, so the figure keeps revealing new boundaries as the eye moves down. The front decoration with the cat face outline, paw marks, Privaty text, and small bow adds a compact cluster of detail at the center of the lower body. From behind, the large waist bow creates a strong center point, while the cattail connects naturally with the flowing hair. The white stockings keep the legs visually clean, and the shoes finish the design well with thin dark straps, ankle belts with small gold buckles, side bows, and slim heels. The face draws attention first, then the heart shape at the hands becomes the center, and from there, the apron, skirt, legs, and shoes guide the eye downward in a smooth path. At the same time, the large twin tails sweep around the outside and return that flow back toward the upper body, so the figure feels visually connected from edge to edge. Because of that, fans of Goddess of Victory, NIKKE or Privaty will definitely enjoy this piece. With that focus on the voluminous mint blue hair, the maid outfit details, and the heart-shaped hand pose, collectors who appreciate expressive seated figures and clearly layered costume design should find it a very satisfying addition. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.